Hello and welcome to an Arcades The Strategist budget deck for under £50. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Arcades. First, we'll go over his mana. He is a blue, white and green mana costing commander, costing 4. He is flying and vigilance, and when we can attack with our walls for their toughness, and whenever a defender enters the battlefield, we can draw a card. Great commander, all round good, who is also a 3/5. First, let's talk about our creatures. We'll talk about the ones with a bit of drawing power. First, we have Carven Caryatid and Wall of Blossoms, allowing us to draw a card on entry on the battlefield. Next, we have Wall of Omens, which allows us to draw a card on entry. Academy Wall, which allows us to draw when we cast an instant or sorcery spell. And Wall of Mulch, which allows us to eat our own walls, yes, eat them for card draw. Next is Shield Wall Sentinel and Gatekeeper Vine. Shield Wall Sentinel, which is allowing us to search for any defender in our deck, and Gatekeeper Vine allows us to search for a land or gate card. Next up is Sunscape Familiar, which is a surprisingly cheap and very effective card for us. This card allows us, for such a cheap price, to reduce the cost of green and blue spells by 1, which is huge for us. Also, it points out any cards that look like these in old cards from Magic the Gathering, anything that's considered a wall does have a defender. But this is a really good card for us to reduce cost of spells, creatures, to get them all out quicker for us. Now it's time for some more generic walls, some more different defenders we have. First up we have Amaranth Wall, which allows it to be indestructible for a cost of 2 for 1 turn, and Coastal Bulwark, which gives us an extra 2 toughness, which is 2 damage for us because of the way Arcades works, and to Surveil 1 for 2 and tap. Not too bad, but just some little extras here they are. Next is Coral Connolly, which for 1 blue and 1 extra, target player deals X card where it's equal to the amount of defenders which are on the field at the current time of casting this creature. And also, we have Crenellated Wall, which is a defender, giving other walls plus 4, well, other creatures basically have walls only, plus 4 toughness, which it gives us more damage overall, which isn't too bad, and it's more of a supportive wall, I feel, just for a simple cost of tapping it, not too bad at all. Next is Gomazoa, which is a flying defender, and for tapping it returns creatures it's blocked and itself back to the library. And we have High Tide Hermit, which we can attack without using Arcades for sacking 2 of its energy counters, which comes with 4 on, taking 2 off, and we can attack for 4. Not bad at all, just a little creature to use that can attack without the need to have Arcades as the commander out. Next is a highly underrated card in Crashing Drawbridge, which for allowing us to simply just tapping it, every creature we have has haste. Not including itself, of course, but everything has haste. This can surprise players or against. Like, I've used this deck. I know it's good. It surprises them out of nowhere. They just get attacked by haste. Walls just slap them in the face. It's amazing. Also, we have Guard Gamazel, which is honestly pretty much the same thing, but this prevents any combat damage dealt to it. So it kind of helps it be a bit more of a wall, a bit more of a blocker for us. Now we have Hornet's Nest and Jeskai Barricade. Hornet's Nest allows us for any combat damage that I take, it will then make a 1/1 green insect token with flying and death touch. And Jeskai's Barricade, in an emergency, we flash in and it bounces a card back off of our field into our hand. It just saves us from an exile or anything to destroy it. Very good in an emergency. Also has Defender. Now we have Mnemonic Wall and Overgrown Battlement. Overgrown Battlement giving us 1 green for each creature I control with Defender, and Mnemonic Wall allowing us to target a instant or sorcery in our graveyard and bring it back to us, which is really helpful to us. Some we are desperately needed. That will just help us control the field, control everything going on the field, because there's a lot of chaos that goes on Commander. Next is Perimeter Captain and Stalwart Shield Bearers. Perimeter Captain allows us to gain 2 life for each defender that blocks, and also Stalwart Shield Bearers allows us to get an extra 0/2 on each defender in the field, not including itself, just as a heads up, but it gives a little bit of a buff of extra A, it's 2 damage, and 2, it's good to block with. Plus the health we gain from the Perimeter Captain, that's going to come in handy for a card later. Now we have Suspicious Bookcase, which just gives us the Rogue Passage ability. Basically allows a creature we attack with not to be able to be blocked by anything. And to Wall of Air, just a basic flying defender. Nothing too special, just something to have a little bit of extra defense with. Next are two what I consider fairly strong cards in this deck. Nothing too special by the looks of it, but when you realise what we're doing in this deck, it gets a lot better. So, Wall of Frost allows us when we block a creature, it cannot then untap to the next untap phase, so it gives you more time to build up for it, gives you more time just to delay what the attacker is doing to you. Wall of Denial has flying, it has Shroud so it can't attack by spells or abilities, and is also a defender of course, but it's 0-7 and 0-8, these are some of the highest ones we have in this deck, and if we give them certain things we have in this that we've built up so far, which we'll see soon, we can make a lot of damage happen real fast. Next up is Wall of Glare and Wall of Lost Forts. Wall of Glare allows us to block any amount of creatures each combat, and Wall of Lost Forts allowing us to mill an extra 4 cards. The Wall of Glare is going to be really helpful for the Pro Captain to combo with an artifact, which I'll show you soon, to gain us more advantages in the game. Next being Wall of 1000 Cuts and Wall of Roots. Wall of 1000 Cuts is one, it's just a really cool card looking. I mean, it's just a load of flying swords. Plus it can attack for 1 white, to attack without the need of any help from Arcades, just to attack in general, and it's flying. And Wall of Roots just being another basic card which we can minus 1 toughness to allow us to then get another extra green mana. Coming to the end of the creatures now, but we have Wall of Vines, which has had Reach and Defender, Wall of Runes, which allows us to also just scry 1, nothing too much, but it's a little bit extra card we can put in there. Next we have some slightly more interesting card to show, Wingmantled Chaplain, which allows for every defender on the field we get a 1-1 flying bird, which in my opinion is incredible because I like the thought of having some flying birds above my walls. And also for every other defender you put in the field, you get another flying bird. So just think of it as just a load of birds about just above your walls, ready to go into everyone. Next we have a really important card in Tetsuko Umezawa. Now, I may have butchered that name, I may have butchered it all entirely, but he has an incredible ability. Now, for 1 cost in blue plus 1 extra, he can make creatures you control a power 1 or toughness 1, sorry, can't be blocked. Now, to explain how this works, Arcades damage for defenders is not assigned by power, it's assigned by toughness. So that means when you swing at someone with a wall who, say, has Wall of Denial, who is a 0-8 member, that card can go straight through because its power is technically still 0. It's not counting that as the actual it's counting the toughness, which is just it's not changing the stat, it's just counting the toughness as the damage. I'm probably explaining this really badly, but I can tell you now, every wall that is either 1 power or less will go through and cannot be blocked. This is an actual thing in the game that can happen, so when you bring this card out, they will not expect this and it will cause a lot of damage and no one can see it coming. So when you draw this card, know that you're about to do a lot of damage. Next, we have the Axebane Guardian, also known as the Infinite Mana Combo. So, to explain how this will work, to do the Infinite Mana Combo, you will need 5 defenders on the field first. Next, you will need to then tap Axebane Guardian. Tap him for 1 white, 1 blue, the last 3 can be whatever you want. Then, you use the High Alert ability to untap Axebane Guardian. You repeat over and over and over. Basically, you have infinite mana. You're going to use this mana to absolutely take control of the game. Now, I will say, if you do this, if you play with people who know a bit about Commander, who play a few games, or may have watched videos, etc., they might see this combo coming, so I expect it to be somehow countered. But if not, you will steamroll the game, because Arcades' ability allows you to draw from every defender, so if you have defenders in hand, put them down, draw from Arcades, more defenders, draw more, etc. We have cards here that can give extra toughness, which is damage for us, which you'll see soon, I keep mentioning. But as you see, this is how the infinite combo is done. Make sure you tap for 1 white, 1 blue, and that's all that matters. That you can repeat indefinitely until you are literally all out of cards, nothing more you can do, this is the infinite mana combo for you. And now finally, we're moving on to sorceries. So let me begin with some classes. Cultivate, Dusk and Dawn. So Cultivate allows the ramp, pretty easy. This is a very stable card to see now. Dusk and Dawn is allowing us for removal, but also the other half of it allows us to find creatures from our graveyard and bring them back to our hand, which is really nice. Next is also some more removal, which is Fell the Mighty, which is really good for us, and Harmonize for card draw. Because honestly, if you're playing Magic, you need a card draw. You love the card draw. Everyone loves drawing cards. Kadama's Reach and Rampant Growth for more ramp to get our lands out even faster. Solar Tide and Slaughtertron to give us more board wipe potential. Next, we have our instances. We'll start with the first one, which is Cloud Shift, which exiles a card and brings it back into play at the end of your turn, which is a nice little way to avoid some shenanigans going on the field. And of course, because we're blue and because it's just natural to do, we have a counterspell. We have a generous gift, and who doesn't want a giant elephant on their field, which allows us to give us a little bit more ability, just an extra bit of control of the field. And we have Harrow, which for us cost of a land allows us to get 2 additional lands on the field. Next, we have 2 additional instances to deal with any artifacts or enchantments. That is Crozan's Grip and Nature's Chant. We have a Root Snare, and we also have a Tower Defense. Root Snare will be denying any aggression at us, any damage. It's an instant, it's an important one, so be careful how you use it. And Tower Defense allows us all of our creatures to have reach, but also have +5 toughness, which is actually +5 damage to us. That's very nice to have for us. Coming up with the artifacts now, we have the usual combo of the Arcane Signet and the Commander Spear. Easy little mana sticks, good to see, and we'll see a bit of card draw from the Commander Spear. A Soul Ring for 2 additional mana, and Mishara's Bauble to give us an additional card draw for the next upkeep. And now for a really important one, in my opinion. Belb's Armor. So, to explain this, when you are doing the infinite mana combo, if you put all your mana into the X combo, which is X amount of plus in toughness, don't worry about the power, it's all about the toughness. If we throw that onto someone with Tetsuko, I got the name correct, but I'm just guessing name now at this point. If we combine that together, it's a one shot. That's the plan there. Warmonger's Chariot, this allows us to use Arcade's ability, but as equipment, it's a bit expensive, but it's okay for a free cost. Also gives us +2/+2 when equipped. And to finish off the artifacts, a little bit of a favourite of mine, Well of Lost Dreams. So the way we're doing this is to do with Perimeter Captain, and if we have all there to block any number of creatures, if we have loads of flyers around that can block for us, anyway, not those, sorry, anything defender that's blocked for us. If we get any health for that, we're going to put that into this well, and we're going to draw more cards. It's going to help us a lot. Next up is our enchantments. I'll start with is Assault Formation. Basically, this allows us to have Arcade's ability, also allows us to attack, which is great, but also give us a little bit of a +1 on toughness, a little bit extra damage. We can sink any of the mana into this, and Angelic Shield, which gives us +1 toughness to all, and we can return any creature back to someone's hand, which is kind of nice. We just sack it and we throw them back to the hand of anyone on the board, ourselves and our opponents included. Next is an Aura enchantment, which is Eland Umbra, which gives us +4 toughness, and also if the card is attached to is able to die, the enchantment dies, but not the actual creature, which is really nice. It's basically it's like a shield counter, I guess you could say it is. But it's not a bad little thing. +4 toughness, bit of extra damage. Then we also have Brave the Sands, which gives all creatures we have vigilance and can block an additional time to the first one. So that's really good with Perimeter Captain. Allows us to draw more. Love to see that. And of course we have High Alert, which I showed earlier. If you want to see the card out of the screen now, feel like pausing any time on the cards, just pause at any time. Look at the cards. There is going to be a decklist below in case you want to see that. Moving on to lands now, we are using 5 plains, 5 forest, and 5 island as our basic lands. A Azurious Chancery and a Blighted Woodlands, a Canopy Whisper and a Command Tower, a Terramorphic Expanse and an Evolving Wilds, a Thornwood Falls and a Tangled Islet, a Port Town and a Rimwood Falls, a Tranquil Cove and a Crowson's Verge, a Kalani Garden and a Glacial Floodplain, a Fortified Village and a Greypelt Refuge, a Azurious Guildgate and a Plaza of Harmony, also gives a bit of extra life towards the well, a Thriving Grove and an Enchanted Haven, and to finally finish it all off, Seaside Citadel. And with that, that is the deck finally done. I'll have the deck list in the description below if you want to have a read of it there, see the tokens you need as well. That is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. This is a little bit different from what I do usually. I'm really quite passionate about Magic. I never got around to it, but I feel like why wait? I just do it 'cause it's something I enjoy, and I do enjoy Foot Manager, but it's difficult. But if you might see the content on this channel, if you see this video like a bit confusing, I'm trying to just move away from it. I try to get towards this more now. I enjoy it a lot, and I'm going to be making more. If you have any suggestions of decks you want to do, put them in the comments below. I'll look into making any budget decks I can of them, see what things I can make up, see if I can make more decks under 50, under 25, you know, go on and on and on. But yeah, thank you for watching. You know the usual. So hit us up if you want to see any future content. Like the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.